Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Collective Dumbness. I am Ducky on drugs, or just Ducky anyway, or Paige, each of the three.
Yeah.
And I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Kraken, Crazy Kraken, or Xander.
Alright, that was good. So, before we get started, this episode is sponsored by Anchor, where you can make your own podcast for free. All you need is an email address and some kind of device like a laptop or a phone, and you'll be able to do it straight from there. They have their own website, and they also have their own app located in the Play Store or the App Store. So, moving on from that, what got us into this kind of thing? So I'm gonna let Xander go first because mine's kind of lengthy. So,
Oh Lord. Mine's just pretty much kind of not really been wanting to do much of anything. Then started hanging out with Ducky and kind of got into like making YouTube videos just randomly, just to have fun. And it's just gotten a lot better. It's just been fun to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
very good. This is our first rodeo, so this is our first take. So I'm trying to like
Yeah.
pronunciate my words because people on podcasts they're supposed to talk slow and pronunciate their words, and I'm not that kind of person. I'm always like talking really fast and jumbled. So my experience with getting into YouTube and how we thought of this podcast actually, or it was more of his idea than mine to do the podcast part. But ever since I was a kid, I've always like, well, more specifically, like third or fourth grade, I would talk to myself while playing games, like doing commentary, as if I was recording a video, but I wasn't. But like, I just dreamed to be a YouTuber, like not even a popular one, just one in general, because I'm not about like fame or any of that. So really, I would just be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna teach you how to do this or this," and it was my parents like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "Nobody, mom. I'm talking to myself." And but
That's why she goes to a doctor.
oh, facts. I go once a year. But in sixth grade, I made my first YouTube channel where literally I had the exact phone was a Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. That was the phone name. It was like a $200 Samsung phone. I propped it up on some books and recorded myself playing on my Xbox Minecraft Battle. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but that's like one of the best
Good old
games ever.
days. The good
Dude,
old days.
those were the golden days of Minecraft.
They
Um,
really were. When
dude,
that stuff just first introduced, yes.
it was amazing. And I recorded myself doing that for a bit. Recorded myself doing other dumb shit like comparing Xbox controllers to see what's different about them. I was very cringy sixth grader. Um,
Most people were as a sixth grader, gonna be honest.
honestly, me and my friend Leafy, eighth grade going into freshman year, we had another YouTube channel, where same Samsung phone screen recorded playing Murder Game Portable, a little bit of Minecraft. That is when I got my first actual phone where I screen recorded us playing, Critical Ops, Minecraft, that sort of thing. And my mom is texting me, give me a moment.
Oh no.
Um, but I recorded myself doing these things and we advertised a lot and we got 56 subs. Um, and then sophomore year came along and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
let's make a YouTube channel where we just make fun of people and make really, really mean jokes. And then when they get offended in the comments, the only time we ever reply to a comment, we just say, okay, boomer. And that's it. Nothing else.
that
Literally,
didn't last long because of Paige's kind-heartedness.
yeah, literally the entire channel was just us trying to offend people. That was literally the goal is offend somebody and we win. Um, I stopped doing that because I am not that kind of person. but we played some Fortnite because that's what was the thing.
That
Um,
was the shiznits then.
yeah, and I don't want people in the comments being like, "Ew, you played that." Look, man, it was a different time, and
Everybody played Fortnite. It was the worst. But at the time, it wasn't. So,
yeah, I mean, like you guys gotta think, back in the good old Fortnite days, that was the only battle royale. So really, that was the peak. Well, it wasn't the only one, but it was the
it was
only
the only
like,
one that was popular.
yeah, the only mainstream battle royale. So really, you know, and we were like dumb kids, like we were in middle school when that shit came out. So you know,
Is there?
but yeah, I started recording Siege videos, Apex videos, and then I was like, yo, Xander, join me. And yeah, we just started making content. And then one day, he was like, hey, the three of us should make a podcast because we have another friend in our little friend group. I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know if they want to be mentioned. But he's like, the three of us should do a podcast. And like, we have this thing where like, if one of us is being dumb, we call it like collective dumbness
Like his
because
dumbness.
because we're all a little dumb. So
I wouldn't say a little, but yeah.
we're all mm, yeah, a little dumb, but and here we are. So basically, this podcast is just gonna be. I want to dive into some real world stuff because our YouTube is more of us like goofing around and more of like the raunchy stuff. By raunchy, I mean cursing and things, which I'm trying to get better
Yeah.
at actually. So
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
he cusses like a sailor man.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Fair.
Uh, so this podcast will be posted on YouTube. I don't know if this episode will go on Spotify. Um, we have a bot to record for us, but I haven't tested that out yet. So I'm gonna try to get this on Spotify as well. And
Okay, bet.
yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, oh excuse me. I don't know. I just burped. I didn't know if you guys could hear that. Anyways, if you guys are on YouTube, just comment stuff down below for us.
Talk about.
Yeah, for
For
stuff we
us to
could
talk
do.
about.
Yeah, let's talk about if you
And
want
not
to.
stutter.
Yeah, if you want us. No, if you yeah. If you want to, if you want to participate in the podcast, just let us know. We can hook you up in the Discord and have a grand old time. Also, there's a video going up on the channel sometime of joining random groups on Facebook and pissing people off. So that'll be cool. You know,
Yeah, it'll be
trying to
fun.
yeah, basically. Well, it was Xander's idea also going to like flat Earth society. But the thing is, for me, I'm gonna post like a ton of round Earther stuff, and that way they'll kick me out.
Pretty much the premise of the entire video is how long can we last in a flat Earth society page without getting kicked out immediately?
Basically, yeah. So I want to like
Speed run challenge.
yeah, speed run of getting kicked out of Facebook groups. Yes,
That's exactly what it is.
yeah. So you might be wondering, what are you gonna talk about during this podcast? Well, definitely a lot of our high school experiences because we've
Oh
had
no!
quite a
Oh
few
Lord,
of
we have a
those.
lot of high school experiences.
Yeah, the good ones, the bad ones, mainly.
The terrible ones.
Uh huh. I want to talk about one in particular, but we're not gonna do that yet. Stay tuned
Yeah,
for
it's gonna be
that.
a later episode.
It's a long episode. That'll
That
be.
was a lengthy. Yeah,
It goes back to like sophomore year, and like we're gonna be seniors now, so like a 2 year span of just constant bullshit. And
pretty much. So stay tuned. That one's gonna be a fun episode, definitely.
oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of ranting in that one for sure. Uh,
For sure.
with as little cussing as possible. Which is that possible? Of course. Um,
Is it possible right now? At
yes.
the moment, maybe.
Yes, I can hold myself because like I want to distribute this podcast. Which, by the way,
To my mother.
if you're someone in my family or like a coworker in the future or a classmate or even a teacher watching this right now, please do not go to our YouTube channel.
And just go, so this is how they are. Because it's not a good idea.
Yeah, honestly, um, I want the podcast to be more of like a general thing. YouTube, that yeah. If you don't want
YouTube's
to,
a
yeah,
fun little outlook at what we do during games and stuff. Pretty much
mm-hmm,
about how we act when we're in just us.
yeah,
And this is more mainstream, talking about,
professional, yes.
yeah, professional.
So
Professional.
if you end up coming across this video or this podcast video, same thing, um, and you want to look at our YouTube, you have been warned. There's nothing bad on there. It's just
Have
a
been
lot of
warned.
cursing.
A lot of just everything. I'll just say that.
Yeah. For those who are interested in that sort of thing, though, we got a lot of like rage stuff on there. We got Xander screaming on there.
Dude, I have a tendency of getting mad a lot at games. Like, it's bad. So, I might make a rage montage at some point in the future for my channel.
Okay, go check out his channel too. Link will be in the description on the YouTube version of this. YouTube channel, by the way, is Ducky on Drugs. Capital D, capital O, capital D on those three. Um, but yeah, we can have gaming stuff on there. We might talk about like games and stuff on the podcast, but really, I want to keep it as like real as possible. Really, I mean, like, yeah, I want to talk about like, oh, what's your opinion on like Bloodhound or Wraith or something? But I want to get into
Yeah,
like some serious stuff too. A
like
lot of yeah,
real world shit. Like fucking stupid
yeah,
crap that's happening in the world.
yeah. And eventually, I might talk about how to deal with certain things. Cause yeah, what exactly?
Deal with a lot.
Let's just say my stomach go burr. Um, but
My brain go burr.
that
So,
too. That's why we're called collective dumbness, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
Um, maybe some like band stories once marching season's over, or even like band stories from the past because we got some
Oh, there's a lot of those.
crazy
Yeah.
stories from freshman year. I
They're not the
will tell
worst of them
freshman year
all.
stories. Um,
Oh, I'm going to as well,
yeah,
100%.
freshman year was great. No, it wasn't. It was
It really wasn't. It was. It was. We'll just say that. It definitely was.
it was for him. It wasn't horrible for me, but it wasn't like great either. It had its like ups and downs.
Moments.
Yeah. Um, a lot of dumb decisions, like me drinking Monster 2 days out of the week, every week, one or 2 days. It depended on the day or the week,
It
but
depend. It depend on that.
it
It
depended.
depended. It
Depended.
depended. It depended. Yeah.
But yeah.
We
So
both have terrible speech problems, just so you guys know.
once I get to a certain point, I just start like stuttering like crazy. Also
We
my
all
mic might cut out, so
do.
I don't know about that.
Wait,
But
what?
I said I don't know if my mic is gonna cut out or not. So if you hear me talking and my mic cuts out, let me know. Uh,
Let
but
me near.
so we have a Discord server for our YouTube and to play Cold War and stuff if you want to play with us. Link is gonna be in the YouTube description. Um, you can check us out there. Um, it's just gonna be a chill server. You know, nothing bad or anything, obviously. And
It's just a
if you
place to hang
cause
out.
problems, you're gonna make a problem, huh?
It's just a place to hang out.
Yeah. If you cause problems, Well, you're out of here. Junior year, we both learned something amazing. If you start shit, you go and get
In it, you're
yeah.
gonna finish it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a bunch of shit happened.
You go get your ass clapped. Um, I mean that's how it is, you know. A lot of
It
people
is.
just
I
start
mean, you're not
unnecessary.
wrong. It
Yeah,
is how it is. It's how shit happens.
yeah. Excuse my language on that. If like you know, like I said, a teacher or family or colleague or whatever is watching this, but I mean, if you start stuff with somebody, it's not going to end well for the both of you. So just don't start stuff, and everything will be good. But if you're going to start stuff, let it be for a legitimate reason and not just because you don't like somebody. That's all I'm going to say on that because I don't want to spoil anything for upcoming episodes. But
Ba boop ba boop ba ba da ba.
um but if you want to like come on the podcast like in an interview type thing or you want to talk about something specific, share some experiences, talk about random shit. Like we said, just like DM any of us on whatever you have us on, like Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, and we'll get you on here sometime.
For
Um,
sure.
if we end up getting sponsored where we get paid, you know, and depending on how much money is made off of the podcast, um, you will be gifted some of that as well. You'll be gifted a third or less of the profit that we get, because our profit gets halved anyway, apparently. Um, and then of course, if I don't know you IRL, I'll just like gift you something. But we're not getting paid yet, so don't get too excited. Um,
For
we may not get paid for a long time, but I'm saying if that were
a
to ever
while,
occur,
but yeah.
yeah. But if you want to participate, you know, hype hype us up, hype your friends up, like yo, go on this podcast, bro. You know.
Like you might win something. Like we might do like giveaways, random shit, just to like get more in depth with what we do.
Yeah, make the audience happy. That's always good. And
Yeah, for sure.
if you know, want to be in like a live stream on YouTube or something, we can do that. I mean, I don't mind as long as you're not weird. I mean, you know,
As long as you're not a weirdo
yeah,
like me, we can't have another third weirdo there, pal. Just saying.
there's already enough of us.
Exactly. And collective dumbness is only a 30-man group. We can't go for number four.
That is facts.
Not how it works. So
Yeah.
sorry about that. So, but anything can happen. Just gotta let us know. We'll get some stuff situated.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about staying safe during summer. You know, wearing sunscreen, staying hydrated, drinking water, not soda,
Definitely.
not sweet tea. Um, I don't know if I can find the photo. It's the difference between a heat stroke and heat exhaustion. I'm gonna try to find it because I'm pretty sure it's on this one. But it's a very useful picture because you know, when you're out in the sun for a long time. Oh, my mic cut out. When you're out in the sun for a long time, you start to feel, you know, kind of ick. You don't know if
Kind
you're
of
having a heat stroke
boozy.
or not. Okay, so here are just a few symptoms of having a heat stroke. Um, your skin is red, hot, and dry. Um, you
Kind of like a
feel,
sunburn.
yeah, you feel
Way worse.
nauseated. Your head is throbbing. You feel confused. You are not sweating when you have a heat stroke, apparently, which I don't know how true that is, but that's just what this picture says. But if you think you are having a heat stroke, please call 911. Move yourself or the person who is having a heat stroke to a colder place. Do not give them anything to drink and cool them off using like cold washcloths or moving them to a bath. Um, or
Do not jump into a pool if you are having one of them.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
Yeah. Now you might be wondering, what is the difference between a heat stroke and heat exhaustion? Heat exhaustion is way better than having a heat stroke. They're both bad, but one of them you can live a healthy life from. The other one, depending on how severe it is, you can become paralyzed. So,
Yeah, because heat strokes are not something to mess around with.
yeah, so just be careful out in the heat. But symptoms of heat exhaustion are cool, pale, like clammy skin, rapid, weak pulse, while heat stroke is a strong pulse. You feel muscle cramps, you feel faint or dizzy, and you're sweating a lot, which I feel like heat exhaustion and heat stroke, one of the main things to note is that heat stroke, you're not sweating, and heat exhaustion, you are, and also the red skin. And, um, but if you or someone else is experiencing heat exhaustion, get them to a colder place. If they're still conscious, let them drink water. Make them drink water, really. And of course, cold compresses and cold showers and things. Um, I have a little
Yeah.
story. Me, Xander, and our other friend. Well, there was two of them, but I don't want to name drop or anything. Um, we used to walk around town a lot, and we would normally do it in warmer weather. And sometimes I would feel kind of faint. I would never stop though. There are two times in particular
Easy.
where bad things happened. I'll talk about one of them. Um, Me and Leafy, we went walking around town. It was a year ago, over a year ago now. It was the 1st of June of 2020. There was a protest happening in town. I was like, hey, you want to walk around town just for fun? He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we walked around. We ended up going from one side of town to the other side of the town. We walked a total of 13 miles or more that day. And it was really hot out. We had water and stuff. Um, I almost passed out though, cause we just kept walking nonstop practically.
Which is not good. Do not ever walk until you pass out.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake as me, especially about the second story. I'll get to that in a minute though. Anyway, my stomach was hurting really bad. I was starting to not be able to see things, and of course we sat down for a bit. I got my vision back, and we kept going. And then I almost passed out in a Dairy Queen bathroom. So don't do what I did and do that. Um, so this is about a month later. One of my friends, we weren't really friends at the time. We are now though. We were acquaintances. Um, she was like, "Yo, no, yeah, I'm the one that asked. Hey, you wanna go walking?" And it was originally gonna be four people, but two of the other people couldn't go, so it was just me and her. Um, we met up at a Dollar General. We walked for a while. It was very, very hot this day. Um, I wasn't really feeling up to walking anyway, but she walked all the way from her house to my house practically, and I felt bad, so I was like, alright, let's just go. And, so, one of the ways for me anyway, I don't know if anyone else goes through this, but when you're experiencing heat exhaustion, your vision starts to like fade in and out, or everything tends to look sharper than what they seem. Um, Kind of like when you're editing a photo and it's like sharpen the photo like that, or you start to see like outlines of people and shadows and shit. That's bad. That means you need to go inside. But of course, I was like half a mile away from my house. So I'm like, I'm not walking back. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
So we kept walking because we used to walk all around town. Like we'd be miles and miles from our house or our friend's house. So like we weren't just gonna like turn around and go home. And so we keep walking. I can't see anything at this point. I'm just blindly walking while this girl is like right next to me. And I'm like, hey, can we stop for a second and sit down? She's like, yeah, of course. So we sit down. As soon as I get my vision back, I mean, as soon as it comes back, I jump up. I'm like, all right, let's keep going. We keep walking. Um, I'm like staring down at the ground because I thought that that would help. I don't know if it does or not actually. Probably not. But like the flowers and the grass began to seem sharper, and I started to see like shadows and stuff in my vision, like black spots and stuff. And I looked up for a second to get the black spots away, and then I looked back down again. We didn't talk like the entire time, by the way. It was kind of awkward. We didn't really have a plan or where to go either. We were just kind of like blindly walking, trying to like find a place to go. We were thinking about going to the park because they have like this water thing there, and it was near her house. So I was like, "Yo, let's go here." But we weren't sure yet. And eventually, I sat down and stood up a lot during that, and finally, I was like, "Look, man, we're at this bridge. This bridge is kind of like I wouldn't say sentimental, but it's a nice little bridge because it was in between our friend's house and then like Xander's old place. So we would stop at this
Yeah.
bridge a lot when we'd walk to his friend's house from school or walking with them around town. We'd stop at this bridge every time pretty much. And so I sat down on the bridge and I was like, "Yo, I think I have to call my mom. I really don't feel well." And she's like, "Oh, that's okay. I understand." And she sounded so disappointed, and I was like, "I am really sorry. I can't do this." So I'm like, "Oh, you want my mom to give you a ride home? That's the least I could do." And she's like, "Oh, no, that's okay. My house is just right up the road." So basically, we just walked from my house back to her house when she walked from her house to my house. Uh, I felt really bad. So after a while, I apologized again over Snapchat. Um, Beginning of school starts. Fourth block digital arts. I walk into the room. The teacher's like, "Oh my gosh, my mic's cutting out," or it says it is. Um, the teacher's like, "All right, I put your names on pieces of paper on where to sit." My assigned seat was right next to hers, and of course, I was like really nervous at first because I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the girl that I went walking with, and she saw me almost die. I feel so bad." But then we started to talk, and we became pretty good friends because our best friend is her best friend too, so we shared that connection, and yeah, we became pretty good friends. Went over to her house a couple months ago, we just vibed, and yeah, so all in all, pretty good story, but not the beginning part though. If you feel like you're gonna pass out in the heat, go sit in the shade, drink some water. Apparently, you shouldn't do what I used to do, which is pour water on yourself. So don't do that. But just drink some water, sit in the shade, and yeah. Especially if you're
Yeah,
going to like
'cause
a sports camp or something over the summer. Um, yeah, because especially like football, because like you wear your jerseys and stuff. So yeah, stay safe and stuff, and wear sunscreen. So that's a little
sunscreen
story.
is indefinite.
Mhm. Don't get like the 50 SPF. Like get 100 SPF because that's the real stuff right there. Honestly.
Might
Um.
make you look whiter than a ghost, but you'll be perfectly. You will not be cooked.
Mhm. Toasty. What percent is my phone at? Please tell me. Oh, 92. I need to unplug this bitch. Oh. unplug this thing. That's what I meant to say.
I need to unplug this bit.
My bad. Um, but yeah, you got any little stories you want to tell the people?
Any stories that I have about walking around outside or anything about heat? Well, I do have like kind of a story, but not really a story. I'm known at our school for constantly wearing a hoodie. Like I always wear a hoodie. I always wear the same hoodie. I have since like seventh grade. I love this hoodie, and we're outside a lot, and I'm still wearing this hoodie to the point where my body's kind of gotten used to the heat when I'm wearing it. I just kind of don't deal with heat like most people, and everybody's like, "What the hell?" about it. And I don't know. It's just hard to explain on why, I guess. That's pretty much all I have for stories about being outside. Best thing, you think?
Well, for the normal person, please don't wear a hoodie in that kind of weather. My mom does the same thing, but like, if you want to like seem cool to your friends and be like, "Yo, look at me wearing a hoodie in the heat," or "Look at me wearing shorts in the winter," don't wear your hoodie in like 90-degree weather. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, because you're gonna heat up fast, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna be pretty. So, you got any other like random stuff you wanna like tell them or little
Random
stories?
stuff. I do not. Not in this episode, anyway.
Yeah, trust me, guys. This may seem dull now, but we're gonna dig into some deep stuff later on in uh, this little segment that we have going on. So don't get discouraged, because trust me, we have stories.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Just it'll take time.
yeah, we'll get some people on the show. Um, when am I going on the show? Sorry, I had to make that reference. You know that TikTok sound? Or it's like, Squidward, when am I going on? Going on what? The show! When am I going on the show?
I swear.
I love that audio so much, and I didn't love it before, but I saw like an audio, like a video using the audio, and it was a cat, and at the when am I going on the show? And it was like of a Siamese cat dancing, and it was the cutest thing ever. And ever since then, I just loved that audio because I thought of the cat every single time. It was very cute. Um, which by the way, if you guys know anything about like TikTok revenue, let us know because we heard it's garbage, but we want to see. Also,
Yeah.
TikTok drama. That might be our next episode. We're gonna talk about some TikTok drama.
Probably. Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Definitely.
only JS, Trisha Paytas, whatever her last name is. Um, that sort of thing. That'll be either our second or third episode. I don't know yet because I know a lot about the only JS stuff, but I don't know a lot about the whole Trisha thing. Probably not gonna get into that one. There's too much to cover, but definitely
Yeah.
only JS drama because that's just something else. But
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. Also, probably next episode we're gonna talk about our favorite games and stuff. You know, PlayStation,
Yeah.
Team PlayStation. Actually, I'm Team both. I'm only on Team Xbox because of Halo, though. Um, don't tell them I said that. I love Halo to death.
So
Uh,
Halo's a good game. Halo's a good game.
it is Halo 3 and Halo Reach, though, my favorite two games of all time, hands down. But that's more for next episode. So, again, be sure to check out, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out Kraken's channel, or Xander, whatever you want to call him. Check out his channel. I was gonna say check out my channel, but you're already on it, so um, check out our Discord. Also,
Yeah, for sure.
if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening to this on, be sure to check out our YouTubes. or again, my YouTube is just Ducky on Drugs, um, which it would just be DuckYondrugs. So be sure to check that out. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next podcast.